So today I'm going to take you on a very, very quick tour tutorial of how I painted our kids' bathroom floor tile. So this is what it looked like before, and I have been updating the entire bathroom. The floor is kind of in the middle of the process. So the first thing I did was I took my orbital sander over the entire floor using 60 grit sandpaper, and that helps with paint adhesion. And the products that I used, I will link in the description. It is called Rust-Oleum Floor Coating. I used their base white for the base coat, and I needed 2 coats of that. I had another quart. I used less than a quart for the entire 2 coats. Then I had another quart tinted in a color called Aged Gray, which is one of a limited number of colors that Rust-Oleum has as options for tinting of these paints. And after those 2 coats, this was coat number 1. After I had 2 coats, really trying to get into the crevices, this was like a tumbled tile, so I really had to get into those nooks and crannies. I took this stencil that I will also link in the description and started to apply it using a stencil brush, dabbing in an up and down motion. I did not brush back and forth because that will cause you to risk bleeding the paint underneath of the stencil, and then you would have lots of smudge marks. It was very difficult to get in certain spots, which was me trying to get around the toilet, and then here I am as I work my way out the door. But you really have to have kind of a plan of attack as you're working your way through the room. So I knew I had to work behind the door on that side before I could open the door and then back my way out of the bathroom. So you have to be strategic. There were certain spots that were hard for me to get the stencil in, so I would cut little pieces and trace and paint them by hand. But this is the overall final look of it, and I'm very happy with it. Even though it's like a game of Twister, the whole process is a little tough on the body, and you have to have some patience, but I am really happy with the end result. Now, you do have to put a sealer on this. It is required. It gives you specific instructions. The sealer that I purchased with the paint, same brand, Rust-Oleum. I used 3 coats. They recommend at least 1, but I wanted 3. It takes about 2 hours of dry time in between coats, so not bad at all. The toughest thing I dealt with was lint appearing as I put the sealer on, and I talk a lot more about that in the blog post. If you would like to read the more detailed blog post about this project, I will link that in the description as well. I'd love for you to follow me here on YouTube, to subscribe to this channel. And you can find My Home Matters LLC on Facebook. And we are also on Instagram and Pinterest under the handle my_home_matters. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.